So you think you have the stomach to print at home? Alright, well I'm going to show you how. Phil here with Apocalyptic Games. I'm going to teach you how to print off the end of the world card game. First step here is to make sure we have all of the right equipment and materials here. So let me zoom out and show you what we're working with. Got the laptop with the PDF of course pulled up. Have an Epson all-in-one wireless printer here. Our cardstock we want to use, about 110 pound Georgia Pacific here cardstock, and then of course a nice little plastic cutter here for the paper. So first step here is obviously once the PDF is opened, it's pretty simple. We just want to go to the print menu. Alright, here we're on the print menu here in Adobe Reader. A couple things to note. There is some specific settings you want to make sure are selected in order for it to print in full page. Depending on formatting, it may be an issue for not printing it with the correct margins. So I'm going to go ahead and first select my printer here, make sure it's set for the Epson I'm working with. Okay, now I want to go into Properties, right up here. This brings up the advanced menu here. So what we want to do is make sure that whatever printer you're working with, there will be an option for what's called borderless printing. You can see it right there. We want to make sure that that is selected. And it's going to tell me that print quality in the top and bottom areas may decline, or the area may be smeared depending on the media. That's okay, since we're going to cut out some of the edges here with our shredder, with our cutter. So that's okay. Okay. I usually change the paper type to, premium presentation paper matte. That's fine. We're not using glossy photo paper here. It's cardstock, so. Standard quality is fine. If you do, high quality, it will take a lot more time to print, and you may use a lot more ink than you'd like. So I usually keep it on standard quality for printing as well. Okay, I think we're all set with the options here. Got borderless printing on. Quality is set to standard, and let's go ahead and hit OK to get out of this advanced menu here. Now, you want to take a look at the preview over here. Just scroll through some of the pages. Make sure that there's no cutoff lines or anything. It looks like the printable area is the entire page. The borders print correctly, and we have every text captured in there. So, okay. I think we are all set. So, I'm going to go ahead and start printing here. And also want to make sure that it's set to actual size. And then, of course, it'll print landscape on its own. So, I'm going to go ahead and start printing. And then we'll circle back here and show you how to cut things out. Alright, it's printing out beautifully. For this example, I'm only going to print out 2 of the provision card pages and 2 of the red survival card pages, just so you guys can see what it looks like. Expect this to take quite a while, anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes, depending on your print quality and your printer speed. But it's well worth it. One thing I wanted to point out is I just got this warning on my computer that my magenta, of course the red cartridge is running low, so always good to have an extra cartridge on hand. I fortunately do have an extra color cartridge on hand, so before you try this, make sure you've got some extra ones because it will use a lot of ink, especially on the red side. But it's well worth the patience, I promise you. Alright, our page is printed out beautifully. Also wanted to show you how to print the instructions as well. So the first thing you have to do is actually pre-cut a piece of cardstock. Reason being is because we formatted this to a 10.5 by 7 inch size piece of paper, so it can fit in smaller boxes if you do decide to put this in a carrying box. So what I've done here is I've taken a piece of cardstock and just went ahead and cut it 10.5 inches on the long side and then 7 inches that way. So then we'll put that in the printer and I'll show you how to print it. Alright, so we have our 10.5 inch by 7 inch cardstock in here for the rule book. Go ahead and go to the print menu here in the PDF. A few settings we want to change is we're going to print this on actually both sides to make it a nice little rule book. So go into Properties here. Want to go to two-sided printing, making sure that it's actually set to the the left short edge for folding. And then we also want to actually change the paper size here. So document size usually says letter 8.5 by 11 inches. We're going to actually change that to a custom size. Paper width is 7. Paper height is 10.5. Alright. Now let's print this out. Okay, so now we want to actually flip it over. So flip it over, and on the other side here, click resume. And now we should have a nice rule book. So you can fold that up in a nice little tri-fold, and it looks gorgeous. Alright, here's one of our printed red survival card lists. As you can see, it prints off with the cut lines already on there for you. Pretty self-explanatory here on how to cut these out. I don't think you need a demonstration from me on that, but I usually use about 3 or so sheets, stack them up, and you can cut them all at once. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to cut them all out. And then if you got the instruction rule booklet printed, folded, and all your cards, your red cards and your white cards cut out, you are good to go. There's a total of about 54 pages for the entire card sheet list, and so make sure you get all the pages. You should have 100 survival cards and 420 provision white cards. That should be your total there. So enjoy, and we loved your feedback. Give us some ideas, and of course, if you would like to purchase the professionally printed set, you can find it on Amazon, and we definitely appreciate your support. Thank you so much.